Hello everyone, it's Thomas Ultimate 1213 here, back for another Thomas & Friends Wooden Railway review. And today we have a very special item we are going to be looking at. We are going to be looking at the limited edition James Goes Buzz Buzz special edition engine and Elsbridge Station. So, for those who don't know, around 2004-2005, Learning Curve started releasing special edition Thomas & Friends wooden railway sets just like this. They made a couple. One of the more well-known one is the Thomas Comes for Breakfast. The next year, I believe they started in 2003 with Thomas Comes to Breakfast. And then the next year they introduced the James Goes Buzz Buzz. And I believe another one was the Better View for Gordon set. And after that, the line was discontinued. I guess these didn't take off like they wanted to, but here is the James Goes Buzz Buzz, and it's based off the episode of the same name. So this is, unlike other Thomas Wooden Railway items, what made this special is that it was a special numbered item. And I'm going to show you that by first we're going to look at the station part. So this was the main exclusive part, and as you can see, it sort of has a gold plaque saying James Goes Buzz Buzz, sort of like labeling the item. Here's the background, supposed to be Elsbridge Station, like in the episode. And what happens, as you can sort of see, there are some beehives sitting on the station platform. And in the episode, what happens is a clumsy station master knocks over the beehive, and the bees are running rampant all over the station, and they end up on James's boiler. So what they did here was sort of creating the station. It's a flat destination. It's just sort of a stickered piece. It's still very nice illustration. Mine has a bit of an issue. There's a sort of plastic sort of seal that's supposed to go over. Mine's coming off. You can sort of see the edge where it's coming off. I plan to maybe tape this or just leave it as it is, but this was one from my childhood, so I actually used it in Thomas Wooden Railway layouts, but after it just stayed on, after I stopped using it, it just sat on a shelf. Mine is a very high number, so it's not as worthy as the other ones. So they only made 5,000 of these for the United States. I'm guessing that, I'm not sure if these were released in the rest of the world. I'm going to definitely guess that these were released in the UK, and I'm going to say Australia because they obviously released it outside the US because I'm in Canada. So I'm guessing that this was just a North American set. Maybe they had like a different numbered set for other countries. And I'll show you something cool about this. But we're going to look at James at the end of the review. But what's special about this model is that it has a magnet on the platform that keeps the engine on its space. So you have to have it at if you shake it, the engine usually doesn't come off. You have to have a very hard jerk, and the engine does come off. Because I think what they made for this item to do is to be hung off a wall. That's sort of a hinge that you would probably put a nail in the wall, and then you would sort of hang it off. So I guess maybe this was mainly meant for a collector's piece, but I guess that's why they didn't really take off, because at the time of these being made, there wasn't a lot of really adult fans of the show. Now at the time, there's a lot of like teenage and adult fans. So if Mattel did something like this would definitely 100% probably sell, but they probably won't. Let's take a look at the James model. So, like in the episode, James has a red nose and a very surprised expression. This is the first and last time we saw this wonderful face. I'm surprised since the nose is in a separate molding and it's not like... I'm surprised they didn't reuse it. I think it'd be cool if they sort of removed sort of the red paint and made like a... I guess one could be... tar splattered James, or maybe had it in like the James and the Trouble is with Tree set, but they did not. So as you can see, the main design of James are bees, and specifically there are bees molded onto his smokestack area. I believe they re-released that with the Thomas and the Bees set, and there are bees all over his boiler and cab. One thing I like about this model is that it has buffers painted on, something that the regular Thomas Wooden Railway model does not have, which is pretty cool. They sort of went the extra mile with this. And the tender is also, it doesn't have any extra detail beside the bees. They're different on each side, which is, well, not different, they're just sort of mirrored, but one thing I have on my model, and I'm not sure if this came when it was originally manufactured, or it sort of came, or I might have got it on. It seems that there's some sort of whiteout type thing on it. I'm not quite sure. I don't really want to scrape it off because I feel I damaged the model more, but yeah, there's the bottom of it, just labeled James Goes Buzz Buzz and James is Tender. Let's put that aside, and I guess I'll just put this in the background and put James on the station. The other things that this set came with that a regular Thomas Wooden Railway item didn't come with is I'll try to get this in frame, a certificate of authenticity. This was just, I'm not sure if they included, well, they probably did include it with the other ones, but it basically says this certificate, this certificate certifies that this limited edition Thomas and Friends inspired item has been approved by Sir Topham Hatt and all the really useful engines. It says Sir Topham Hatt, supervisor of the railway, obviously a fake autograph. There you'd put the number. I guess this was just sort of for people who bought this as a... I doubt there are a lot of people who bought this as an investment, but it's still a very nice piece. I'm very happy to have this still, because I'm guessing a lot of these didn't survive with the models, because most of them went to kids, but this is a very cool piece. And the last thing I have to show you about this model is the character card. The character card is pretty interesting. I guess it shows a bit of a prototype model. It looks a little different to the one that was the final model, especially the face looks quite different. And unlike a regular character card, which I would get for you, but I don't have any to compare it with at the moment, James is in the background of the station piece, which we'd covered before, instead of a usual blue sky. Oh, I actually have one here. Let me just quickly show you. So this is a regular character card, and I guess they sort of went for that background, which makes this one extra special. Of course, it says a limited edition, and just the back says, James the Splendid Red Engine soon became James the Red-Nosed Engine after a swarm of bees left the comfort of their beehive for the warmth of James' boiler. It says, collect character cards for all your favorite Thomas Wooden Railway System friends. And this item number is LC, well, it doesn't say LC, but it's 99184. And with that, this is the end of this Thomas Wooden Railway review of the limited edition James Goes Buzz Buzz Eldridge Station limited edition pack. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have a request for another Thomas and Friends Wooden Railway review, please let me know in the comments below. I guess thank you for watching. This is Thomas Ultimate 1213 signing off and saying bye for now.